everyone, it's your girl Naya, aka Princess Naya, and we are back with another episode of Tired Ass Mum Presents Can I Shit in Peace? And today we are joined by West London's finest. You can see by her hair, the lovely Reams. Woo! I always do a massive clap when there's no one in the studio.
I know, don't worry, but I'm gonna add to that.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're gonna get stuck straight in. Do you like to introduce yourself, tell the people who you are, what you do?
Yes, so my name is Reams. I'm a support worker by day, podcaster, host by night, mama 24/7. So yeah.
I like the mama 24/7.
It doesn't stop, does it?
So how many children have you got?
I've got 2.
And how old are they?
I've got a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. And then I have one foster daughter.
Hold on a second. You said you have a 15-year-old and then a 5-year-old. So what?
The gap.
Is the gap by choice?
Yeah. It wasn't by choice.
I love your honesty.
It wasn't by choice, but
okay.
But
it was a blessing from God, as they say.
There you go.
It was a blessing.
It was those ones.
So you have a foster child as well?
Yeah,
How old's your foster child?
20 now.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
wow.
she was with me when she was 13.
Oh my God, amazing. Oh, well done you. It's really nice. You know, like I love stories like that.
No, definitely. I think that's why I got into this whole support work.
Okay, right.
Yes,
so
I work with young people. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, cool. So, Lisa, talk to me about, you've got a full-time job, got your podcast going.
Yes.
You've got 3 children, basically.
Yes, basically.
How do you manage? How do you give up your time? And look like this as well.
Oh,
I'm not being funny. It's tired ass mum business, but you do not look tired.
Please,
okay?
please.
I've got a lot of concealer on. You look like you've got nothing on. You just look like you've got the good skin.
I did them YouTube how to look good in 5 minutes, because that's all I had in the cab. Do you know what? I think it's routine, balance, and it's not always good. Sometimes it's mad, sometimes I'm exhausted, sometimes it's great. And I think, oh yeah, everything's really smooth right now. And then one thing will happen, like, my 5-year-old will get sick.
Okay, and
you see out. that little knock in the road where it was all smooth just makes everything go bumpy for a bit. Okay. And then you got to get back on track again.
So how do you plan? Like, so like how do you plan your days and managing? Because that's like, it sounds like obviously the 15-year-old is probably a little bit more self-contained, but there still must be planning that has to come in.
Definitely.
And then a 5-year-old, I mean, like, I have a 5-year-old, so I understand that. Yeah, like, and this is my first rodeo. So for me, it's it's a girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going through what I'm going through.
Right.
Girl.
Well, there you go. It's a lot of
These
stress.
5-year-olds are different.
They're not 5. Well, I've got nothing to compare it to.
Okay.
So is this different?
This is different. This is so different.
What's the main difference?
I think I'm tired. I think I'm of an age now where I'm like, do you know what? Have it. Take it. Just do it. Whereas I had more patience.
Okay. When you were younger.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's funny. One of my the girl I used to work with, Chloe. Shouts out to Chloe if you're watching. She has 3 kids. So she had like 3 under 3. That's the age gap, right? So her first one, her first daughter, she is like, organic eating.
Yeah.
What was it? Alkaline water drinking.
Yeah. You know
like the most healthiest, amazing. Anyway, and then I saw her put up a post the other day of the youngest one, and she's like, I started off with organic.
Yeah.
And this child was under 1 eating a red strawberry lace. And she said, I don't fucking care.
No, you get to that place where you go, do you know what? Just have it. Just do it. Because I'm not arguing with you. I'm tired now. But yeah, I think the 5-year-old, like you said, my 15-year-old, he's quite good. Like,
he's independent.
But then again, I'm still that parent that is very much present, and I don't care that you're 15.
Okay, yeah.
Mum still needs to know
what's going on.
What's going on? Oh, Mum, I'm going out. Going where?
Yeah.
Do I have their number? Do I know their parents?
Mum,
where are you going? Is your location on? I'm that mum. So, whereas with my 5-year-old, it's just, I suppose it's that balance of, if you do have work or you got things, she's always underneath my armpit.
Okay, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, Mum, can you play Barbie?
Yeah.
Barbie time.
So let me also, this is great, okay? So how do you deal with because you have got more than 1 child, but the age gap is so different that I suppose this is not really no playing happening with them too much. Yeah. Unless she's really, you need to do something with your sister.
Of course.
So with me, it's just me, and obviously she has her dad.
Yeah.
And she's on this, can you play with me? And like, I'm like, can I play with you?
Disclaimer: we're loving mothers. We love
Right,
our
so
children,
I'm trying to find the right way to no. I don't want to play.
Yeah. I feel your
I really don't want to play. I'm tired.
I feel
I
your
just want to
pain.
chill out. And then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, can we watch a movie together? Yeah, we can watch a movie. And then my eye is closed.
Sleeping.
And she's
Sleeping.
like, you're sleeping, Mum.
That was
You're
fun.
missing it. And,
No, I'm
and
not.
then that one time she got her finger right near my eye. And I was like, listen to me.
Yeah.
Don't touch me. And
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
catch
yeah,
myself
yeah.
saying something and I think, for awful.
Bad
So I thought, oh my
afterwards.
God,
I
why did I
know.
say that? But it's like, come on.
You're
So
human.
what are the levels of engagement in play do you partake in? Like, because we do partake.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. I have my moments where it's like, do you know what? It's been a minute. Let's get down,
in.
get the
Okay.
Barbie house out, get all the
Okay,
Barbies
okay.
out. Let's do it all.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I do have other moments where it's like,
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah.
You know, do that you can do by yourself. Why don't you play Polly Pockets? Why don't you do that? I know. How about...
I don't know that I know. This
Always.
Is,
It's always that I know you can do this. Or I have, like on Fridays, I allow her to go on her tablet.
Okay, right.
So
right,
I know
yeah.
between Friday and Saturday,
You're good.
I'm
You're
in the
covered.
clear.
Okay,
I've
right.
gone clear because you don't want to know.
Yeah, this is the thing, and I think the more you starve them of a device, when they get the device, you cannot see them.
Nothing.
But the problem I have with the device is the downloading of more apps, and I've got the notification thing, so it's like,
Comes up on your phone.
yeah. So I'm like, hey, and then she's at the stage where she said, one more. Can I just have one more? And it's like she'll get me at a time where I'm in the middle. Yes.
Yeah,
You can have whatever you want. What do you
know
want?
what they're
You want
doing.
it? What do you want? You can have it. Yeah. You can download all these games. And she's
Yeah.
downloaded. And then but then I had to change the account to a card that has got no money in because
Yeah.
I realised what was happening. I wasn't watching what I was downloading, and I got charged £50 for a game the other day.
Been there.
£50.
Yeah,
These
it's
people are
disgusting.
crazy.
Disgusting.
£50. And
Yeah.
then if it's not £50, these weird adverts are coming up.
Coming up
So then
and they're
you're
just-
like, it's really really tough. I think the playing thing, it really pulls at my heartstrings because
It
I
does.
had a sister and a cousin also my age. We was
Okay.
like the three bandits rolling together all the time.
Nice.
I never wanted to play with my mum. Mum who?
Of course,
Got my
because
gang.
once you have them, but I think it's different when they're by themselves. Like obviously,
Yeah.
I've got two, but there's a gap.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, oh,
And it's a girl and a boy.
And if his cousins come round or whatever, they're
They're all good.
doing their thing. Oh, we're going to play football. Oh, I want to go park. Oh, but it'll be
Okay.
me that pushes you on the
Yeah,
swing
yeah,
for half
yeah,
an hour.
yeah.
And I don't have half an hour right now. The park, every day, the park.
The park is another. It's
another
emotional.
one.
Okay?
It is,
But you know,
it
it's
is.
funny. I'm going to tell you about a service that I launched last year. We done like a market research, and I launched this service called TAM Assistant, which is Tired Ass Mum Assistant, where the idea is that you can book a mum assistant to come to your house and do whatever you want for however long you
I've never
book,
heard of
right? Because I'm trialing. I've just tried. I tried in
Okay, I
Chiswick and it
cannot
went really
wait
well.
to sign
And it's for
up.
things like this. So it's like the park.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you
yeah.
could go to the park if you wanted, but she's going to be doing the swing pushing.
Yeah.
And the holding of the bags.
Yeah.
And then you can go back home and it's like, oh, I've got some returns. I need to go back to Royal Mail because, you know, the Hermes are not collecting today. And then he's go, oh, I printed the wrong form and it's Royal Mail.
Yeah,
She can
yeah.
then take your returns back or peel potatoes or whatever. And I think that, and then, anyway, trialing this, obviously I tried it myself.
Yeah.
And my daughter loved it. But then it got to the point where she was like, when is Sasha coming? And I was like,
You know, you're going to go in.
hey, gotta watch them coins. And like
And I'm
it's not
mum.
and I'm mum. Yeah, and it's like not everyday Sasha. Some
Love
days
me.
mum.
Yeah,
I
get
can
it,
play
I
too.
get it.
So it's
I'm
like
sorry.
so I'm really sorry. I'll come get the Barbie house out.
Yes.
I'm ready to go. Give
Yes.
me Ken. I make a good man. Like so I hear what you're saying, but
Yeah.
it's like trying to get a balance. And I suppose especially like if you're a single parent, it must be even harder.
Yes.
However, I noticed that my daughter wants to play with me. She doesn't want to play with her dad.
And I was going to say, very true, because even people that I know that are, you know, with the fathers, they're in-house, it's dad who? Dad who?
Dad's sleeping.
Dad could be sitting, walk past dad to go to mum and say,
this
mum,
is
can
right.
I...
I'm in the bath, and it's like, hey, mum, can I?
No, I'm
It's
still
like,
going to bust that door and ask
oh,
mum.
to mum. Yeah, I'm laying down. I've
yeah.
got a migraine. I've said everybody in the house, please, guys, leave me alone. I need rest.
No, they
And
don't
it's-
hear that. They just...
Mum, can I have some raisins?
Yeah.
But what? I'm upstairs. I'm not even in the kitchen. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. Walk past
So,
someone in the kitchen to come to you.
100%. And for me, I feel like in that instance, having a little bit of help, even once a week, even once a month, it really did make a difference. So it's something I'm exploring. So I shall keep you posted.
Oh, please, because I will need that help. I will be signing up to that. Yes, take them park, take her park, push her on swing. Listen, I don't mind, because
sometimes you just need, you just need a little bit of
a little bit.
And I think that with people don't genuinely put the mum position as a job, and it's like this is more than a job. You're like a business owner.
That's
like,
what I said.
I remember before I had my daughter, I've always like run my own business and done stuff, and I used to be like, having kids is going to be easy. It's basically just like having a business. It's the same. I don't sleep because I got to do things for my business, and I do this and I put my business first. Then I had my daughter, and I thought, you idiot, you absolute moron. Because it is nothing like it. Because if I want to work 24. Like, if I want to work the whole day and the whole night for my business as a single person with no children, I can do that. Of course. Because then I can sleep for another 24 hours.
That's it.
But when you have your child, there's no sleeping going on whatsoever.
There's none. And if you don't have support where you can say,
and even then, but it's still different because you still have it in your mind and you still have that. Yeah. Are they okay? Are they alright? Even if you pretend that you don't care. It's like, well, I'm not, they're fine. This is shit.
You're still texting on
you're
the side.
You're still having a look.
Can she send me a voice note, please?
But can I do a little FaceTime to my mum? Is everything all right? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, good, all right. Right. You still have it. So it's just a different level of pressure, you know? So, like, talk to me about the reasons that you set up your podcast. And, like, because if you have your full-time gig and you have your full-time gig with your children, like, how do you accommodate time for that? Like, what's the thought process? What is the thought process behind it? And how do you manage?
Okay, so the thought process behind it was... obviously I was working on a different podcast with a production company, and
professional,
throw that out there. So when they were doing something else, they met another lady who had an idea, and obviously I'm just getting out. This was in last year, so I've just started, and I'm thinking, go on, do you know what,
go for it.
Go for it.
So is that pretty much you turning up and just presenting if they were producing it?
So they were. They did all like the editing and the filming.
Okay, wicked. Yeah.
And we literally just did the research, found our topics, got amazing. The structure, all that kind of stuff.
You've done the pretty bit.
But you say that podcast, it's not easy. It's not easy. You're sourcing guests. What we're talking about, because we literally
getting guests to turn up.
Being like, okay, don't worry. 1 hour, guys, I promise they'll be here. Do you know what I mean? But I think finding the balance, so that was the reason,
your initial
how it started, and kind of and then afterwards finding the balance, that was hard, because already working, having children, it was just like, okay, I want to do this, and the gap, I'd paused on life for a minute. When I say paused on life, I worked to do what I had to do.
Yeah, but you did pause. You pause on your own. It's like your own dreams and creativity, because you start putting everyone else first.
Because you have to. You kind of have to. Yeah. So I was like, do you know what? Now I'm gonna make it work. If it means that I'm shattered for the next few days afterwards, whatever, I'm doing it. So it was just finding that balance of routine, and I think my kids, they're really good. I'll shout them out. Do you know what? As much as I have my moments with them and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really, really good. They understand, if you got to go granddad, you got to go granddad. Do you know what I mean? But so just finding balance with it. And
so it sounds like that, obviously, because you've had your son who's much older, and then you've gone again, which is then, did you forget what that beginning bit was like?
100%.
Okay, right.
Because you know what annoyed me? Because
he was 10 then?
Yeah, he was 10 when I had my daughter. But when I was pregnant and they were like, oh, you've got a child already, you're fine. I said, no, don't do that to me. No. Treat me like a new mum. Because that was a long time ago. I don't know what to do anymore.
What? It's changed, man.
School run again. I think that was what was killing me, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, I got out of it. I was at the last hurdle. I'm done. No, you're going straight back into it. It was all new. It was all new again, and I was older.
Okay, so it's just different.
It was different.
So did any of your friends have children around about the same time as well? So you
which
had
was
someone to
like literally. My best friend actually had her daughter at the same time. Well, her daughter's a bit older, a few months older, but it was nice to have the support.
Okay, and also the person to understand
what you're going
feeling. I think that when I had Kizzy, it was so new, and I was just very. I just come from decades of just self-serving.
Yeah.
I came from a lot of selfishness, and just put myself first and just do what suits me. So then to have a whole person that was then just there
looking at you,
it's
going,
like okay, hey, this is interesting, you know. And it's like, what happens? Like, you know, it's like, okay, you're telling me to feed on the breast every hour. This is unrealistic. I want to sleep. I need my, like, it was a lot of stuff that you just kind of get thrown in a deep end. And I do believe that you know, if you've been through it once, there will be a little bit of I know what to expect. But I suppose every child is different as well.
Every child's different.
You know, like having a girl, having a boy. Even if you had 2 girls, they're different souls. They're coming through different, and they're here to probably teach you a different lesson.
No one child is the same. No, and it doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. They will all be completely different. Each pregnancy will be different. Each, like, I just remember comparing and thinking, was it because I was young? Is it because I'm old? I'm not even that old. So what's going on? Like, why do I feel like this? Why does everything feel like it's falling apart? They're like, oh, you'll be fine. No, I'm not.
I'm going to help me.
Literally. So
was you a mum that done like the mum group thing? And, you know, like, because a lot of mums, well, I remember one of the main reasons I remember thinking I'll never have children is I remember this like it was yesterday. I was in Collier's Wood. I used to live near there, and I walked past this library, and it was about 20 mums in there with all their kids in it. And I walked past, and I did not feel any sense of happiness whatsoever. It was disgust, I'll be honest, and I rang one of my best friends. No, honestly, it was disgust. I felt sick, and I rang one of my best friends, and she said, and one of my best friends, she's got 3 kids, and she had a big age gap as well. So like her oldest, I'm his godmum, he's like 20 now. I'm such an awful godparent, can't remember how old he is. He's about 20 or 21. Anyway, she's got 3, so I've called her and I've said, Jenny, I'm never gonna have kids. And she said, she's the person who's always like, please go have one. And I'm like, honestly. And she said, what is wrong? Why are you saying this? I said, I've just walked past the library, and I explained to her what I saw. I said, I would never be that mum I'm not built for that. I can't think of anything worse. She said, do you think I've ever been in one of those mum camp library situations and I've got 3 kids? I don't do it. I don't like it. When you're a mum, you do what suits you. And you don't do what the perception is that a good mum is doing. That doesn't mean that you're a bad mum if you don't want to do it. You'll just find what works for you. And I was like, you've never been? She said, no. I said, what? You've got 3 kids. I'll go library and do my own little bits in there when I'm ready, but I don't do that. That's not my vibe. And I said, okay, cool. And like, I didn't have my kid for much longer after that, but it gave me reassurance, that this look and feel of what motherhood should look like and feel like doesn't exist. No. You do what suits you, and sometimes it means doing that stuff, and sometimes it doesn't, and both are okay. One is not wrong. You know?
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, because when I had my son, again, I did the same thing. I was like, oh, I've got to do this. I've got to go to this class. I've got to go to this group.
Did you feel pressure?
I felt pressure. 100% felt pressure, because obviously it was new. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, well, they're saying, or this book's saying, or this booklet, or you're sitting for your appointment and you're seeing all these things on the wall, and you're like, okay, I've got to do that as well. Let me write that one down. Went to a couple, and I said, no.
I don't want to talk about Joseph's bogey and how green it is, and a lot of the conversation just was not for me. No. And I felt, and then you kind of feel a bit alienated, because you think, why am I not empathetic to these conversations?
Why am I not feeling what they're feeling? Am I a bad mom?
You do.
Like, no, it's not. You're just different. You're literally just different, and there's no rules. There's no, this is how to be a good mom. This is how to be a great mom. This is, you just have to do what's best for you and your child.
I suppose.
And build that relationship. Build your own routine. What do you like doing?
It's very, very
Do you want to sit in a library and sing Humpty Dumpty 5 times?
It's not for me.
Hear that rattle that's out of beat and just jarring in your head.
The other day, and I think there's a time and a place for children. Because some people don't have this. I went to see the other day. I went to see Jurassic Park just come out.
Okay, yes,
right, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m.
Okay.
Toyed with the idea of bringing my 5-year-old. I thought, no, absolutely not. It's nonsense. Why am I even thinking about this? It was like, Dad, would you go, maybe she'll like it? No, it's going to be very scary. And thought we were doing date night. Okay, so we've gone. We've got to have our little bit of time. So we've gone to the cinema. 7 p.m. and the cinema was empty. It's not. It was a really quiet one.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will tell you the one afterwards. I don't want everyone flocking there.
Yeah,
it was very, 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 very quiet. There was like about 10 people in there. Yeah, at 7 p.m.
Afterwards, yeah.
But in the front row, or like down by the front, I'm sitting there now, and my partner's done a little, the little.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
the nudge.
What?
Yeah.
And I see like a 1.5-year-old, under 2, and he's running up the stairs. And I've looked, and my eyes are tearing. I'm headed something, and no, honestly, really, it's just real life.
No.
Then I've looked down in the front row, and there's 2 women, and they've both got pushchairs. There's a few kids, and they've got a newborn baby, and they've got the 2-year-old. And I just felt like, guys.
Yeah, stop.
4 o'clock showing, babes.
No.
12 o'clock
10
showing.
a.m.
Yeah, do
10 a.m.
anything but this.
By 12 p.m. there should be no babies.
The babies were in there. They were living their life. The baby come up, and then the child, and it's not child, baby, come up the stairs and it's in the row in front. And we're just there, and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, because not only is your child running riot, you are letting your child run riot, and you're not even chasing him. You're downstairs with the pop.
Enjoying your best life while someone else is doing childcare.
I saw her look, and the friend said, look, and she was like, oh, whatever. And turned her head back, and I thought, you know what, like, guys, like, come on, now you're inflicting your pain on us. Because we have children, and we're taking time away.
Yeah.
And then, do you, like, what do you think?
Do you see in situations like that? That irks my soul.
Okay.
I can't because
then I thought, am I unfair?
No, you're not.
What if they haven't got childcare and they really want to see Jurassic Park with a 2-year-old
at 7 p.m. At 7 p.m.
Is that child ever going to sleep? Because that program was shitting me out a little bit. That's
too loud. It's too much. Basically, what happened was they said, we're going cinema. We ain't got childcare.
We don't
but it's
care.
alright, they can run around.
Yeah.
That's fine. Because, like you said, her face was still facing forward and she was eating her popcorn.
Clapping, yeah?
That's
and
too much.
The newborn on her friend's chest laying there, they're busting out the breastfeeding.
Yeah,
they
wanted to go cinema and they just didn't have. But But
then is it fair though?
No,
like, honestly.
That's what I said. Between 10.
Is it fair? No, but what I'm saying, but is it
fair for them?
Is it unfair for us to say, like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe that's the selfish side of it. No, because do you know what it is?
Can I say something? You've been there though.
Yeah, and I would never do that.
Okay.
I would never do that. I'm not taking my newborn or my 2-year-old, especially a 2-year-old.
Yeah, because they're
into
active,
the cinema,
man. Yeah.
Between they got Kids AM.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Take them there. You want to see something, or you want to go to an early showing when you know, okay, it's going to be maybe young people, whatever.
Yeah,
so they're not really in it. They're just trying to come out and go to cinema.
But
after the evening, we've got grown people that are either having date nights, just want to break, want to see their favourite film because
it's true.
Don't be taking little people to make up noise. If you are bringing them, please just have respect.
Yeah, it's true.
And like you said, you've come there and said, do you know what? We're having our time now.
Yeah, and even so, 5, you're sitting there in silence.
Exactly.
It's not 2 running around.
Not running around and coming up, because I'd be looking at the child. Oh no, you need to go and sit down with your mum now.
Do you know, and it felt like this, like, fuck off.
Yeah. That's what's going on in my head, but I'm going.
Yeah.
Go and get your mum. Is your mum there? Hello.
Yeah, it's insane. And then I thought, because like when I was looking at it, then I thought, no, don't be so judgmental. Like my mum was a single mum. Yeah. Like maybe there were times where, and there's like, no, that you should never do that. It's just not gonna. We're not gonna be.
I think there's levels, and there's some people that because
they just don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about other people.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about I don't want to upset people that are trying to actually watch this film. They're just thinking, I want to get out of the house.
I'm going.
I want to get out of the house.
And you're
I want to go cinema.
down with me. If I'm suffering my kids,
everybody,
my kids.
I don't care if you paid for your ticket. I paid for mine too. Yeah. And they'll sit there and just let you enjoy it.
Yeah. I wonder what the people think. Should do I might do a little post.
Yeah, please do.
What they're saying. It's really insane. So all right, so you're doing the most. You're doing the job. You're doing your side hustle. You're raising your children.
Yeah.
So do you raise your children all by yourself?
I do, and I've had so my daughter I raised by myself.
Okay.
My son, we had me and his dad had a really good co-parenting relationship, and then literally over the last couple of years it just kind of deflated a little bit. Not even a little bit. Let me keep it 100. It deflated. Depleted. You know, it wasn't even the flat tire that you can still run on. It's the one where now you're craping the ground. It's all come off of the rim.
The rim.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's been hard these last couple of years. That I definitely say that it's been because you know when you don't expect something.
Okay, yeah, because that sounds strange.
You don't
normally it's the
expect
other way around. It's like it's really shit, but now we're in a good place.
And
it's not. It's really great, and now we're in a shit
place. That bit.
Is there any particular?
So the reasoning was, unfortunately, it had something to do with his partner.
Okay.
Yeah. So because my she didn't like our setup. We were really good co-parents.
So
like people would look
without
at us,
saying too much, it just sounds like it's like, you know, and these are the fears that I think some people have when 100%. They get into new relationships. It's like they cannot handle anything with the opposite sex because it puts them in a really strange dynamic. It's like, well, why are you listening to her? And it's like, well, it's not really I'm listening to her. We're raising our son and we need to have really good energy so that my son gets the best.
Yeah. And I think because of where, obviously, growing up, I grew up with a single parent. Yeah. And my mum and my dad, they didn't talk.
Okay.
Like, it was, everything.
But did you have a relationship with your dad, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they didn't talk. So things went through us.
Okay. Oh,
and I used to...
pressure.
I hated it. And I always used to say, if I ever have children, I'll break up with my partner. Like, I always just want to make sure we're okay, so my child don't have to go through what I went through. So it was great. It was all fine. So I think that was the biggest slap. It was like, what? Like, how
did you
are we
feel
now
like
at this place?
was it because did you put a lot of energy into speaking to him about stuff that had nothing to do with the child, or like,
no, but we were.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
were you
yeah,
friendly?
We
like,
were friendly.
Okay.
But not friendly like.
Not.
Oh, that's
touchy friendly.
No.
Just like brethrens.
Brethrens, but we were brethrens before
anything. Anyway, okay.
We were brethrens. We've always been.
It's very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
So do you think there's no way to?
Well, hopefully, it depends. For me, I'm very strong on people taking accountability.
Okay.
And having an understanding of why someone might have been upset. Because I'm quite like that. Like, if you say, oh, you know what, Reams, you really upset me when you did that. Yeah, I want to know why and how. And do you know what? I'm sorry, I didn't even realise.
Yeah.
But for you to just be wrong and strong, or to kind of, that for me, I'm...
yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm starting
okay.
So I need that. I need that. So hopefully we can get... But for my son, listen, you call my phone, you want to do... Cool.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Okay,
but obviously inside, it's still a wow.
Yeah, it's all.
It's been over 15 years, and
we're here. Yeah, at this time. Yeah, it's really. I've never heard that.
For what?
Yeah.
It went a bit left.
So because your son, he must have his own phone, obviously.
Yeah.
You just communicate direct with him.
They picked up on that now because obviously it literally went left, and it went left unnecessarily, which made me quite annoyed.
And then does it then put your child in a position of choosing sides? I'm asking, does that situation make your child think, oh, well, I have to side with my mum?
In this situation, in this situation, I'll say no.
Okay.
But when we might have had a disagreement before, when everything was cool, but you know, we're human, so you still might have things where it's like, no, I think that's right, you know, I think that's right. Then you leave it open for your child to go, okay,
I see the play.
Let me see if I can work that on this, or let me see if I can work mum with this one, because I know right now they ain't gonna talk for maybe a week or so. I'm gonna have my way, and I'm gonna pick this one or pick, but
which is normal.
Not but picking sides to say, okay, do you know what, I'm standing. It's never been that.
Okay.
It's never been that, and only of recent it's just been because of the situation that it was at hand. But
well, the reason why I was even asking about that is because I was trying to understand, like, so because I have a lot of guests and everyone's dynamic is really, really different. So which is great because you get to learn a lot. And there's a misconception that having dad in the home is way better than co-parenting sometimes. When sometimes there's a lot of similarities in
very
dad's behaviour because men are tuned a certain way, and their perception and the way they are is just sometimes just different to mums. And mums generally have a lot of similar characteristics, and dads have a lot of similar characteristics, and a lot of the conversations have been about, does the characteristics change if it's a co-parent situation as opposed to being in like the family home, you know? Like so going before when everything was good, it's like if your son needed to, was he go and stay there and stuff, what was the handover like?
Fine.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how did you communicate, like, what
calls,
he needs, or, okay.
Calls, like, we would speak.
Messaging,
like, we would talk. So it wasn't like okay, I'm dropping them at the door and running.
Okay, because it's like that for people.
Some people, no, I know people that have to deal with things like this, but between me and him, I've never had that, which was good. Okay. Like, it was always like, okay, look, parents' evening together, reports reads together, whatever it would be, football matches together.
And would you say that he was able to give him the support that he needed without your guidance on things? So, like, and I'm asking for, like, so he might need a pair of trainers.
Yeah.
Like, at age 8.
Yeah.
Would he be calling you and saying, what size is he? I'm going to get him these shoes. Or would he know this type of stuff himself?
See, sometimes it would be, oh, yeah, what size is he? Or he'll come back with something. I'm like, why have you got that size?
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But I think this is a male characteristic.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not a living in the house.
No, it doesn't matter whether men just don't take details like that in.
Okay.
Well, not all, but most men don't take that.
And why do you think that is?
Because they're men. That's what they do. They're like, okay, we see the outer picture, but all those mums do that.
Okay.
Mum will know the waist size,
intuition?
the height. I think it's just because we're more in tuned with the detail of our child.
So do you think that's just like being a nurturer?
Yeah.
And it's just a normal...
It's normal. We know these things, and they'll kind of be like, yeah, well, even men will say it to you, your partner, your child's father, whatever. They'll be like, oh yeah, well, you'll know.
Yeah.
Or call the mum, she'll know.
Yeah.
Why would you? Because we're taking.
It feels like it. Do you know? It feels like to me, it's like my interpretation of it is like mum is like the manager of the store and dad is like area manager. So it's like mum knows all the
everything,
and then dad is knowing little bits.
Yeah. But then when we need him, all right, can you come down, please, area manager, because this is going on and I need some assistance right now.
Yeah, that's
cool.
what kind of,
And then they just come in and they do their little thing and then they go about this.
It's wild, you know.
It is.
So what are your thoughts on, like, finances and stuff with your children? Like, is money important in your household? Is that like a topic that you actively promote and teach?
Yes. I think money is definitely important because I think that you need to, talk about it. We didn't get spoken about. Well, when I was growing up, I didn't really get spoken about with money. Yeah. It was kind of like, yeah, we haven't got it, we don't. You can have it or you can't. Whereas I teach my children, listen, money don't grow from trees.
Yeah.
This is, if I give you this and you're saying you want to do X, Y, Z, or you want to get this little sweet whatever, you're going to use that. And you're going to see that it will, it goes.
Yeah.
Because if I just keep giving you, you just think that you just get things. Things. Yeah. And then you're growing up, why can't I get these things? Because you need to accumulate money.
Yeah.
So save for it.
Yeah.
And then you can get it.
So how do you deal with that, like, with your 5-year-old? Because I feel like having a 5-year-old is, I'm at the stage now where she kind of understands because she's like, she's saving for Disney. So every time she gets money, she's like, no, that's going in my Disney jar. And I'm like, hey, no, some of it's going in there because you need to live. You want to buy things and you're talking about apps and all these type of stuff. So you need to spend some of your money on this stuff because I want her to understand that what it feels like to have less in this pot because you're spending over here.
Yeah.
Obviously she's 5, you know.
So it's harder. I get it.
It's harder, but I just think the introduction of the conversation
definitely
helps.
Needs to be there. 100%.
Yeah, because she's like, the other day she's like, oh, can we count my money in my piggy bank? I'm like, oh. Do you have money left in there, really? No, I'm really joking. But
that's how my daughter is. There's money in there.
Yeah, there is.
You don't remember really?
Is it?
You don't remember that? Pop it.
I was £5 short.
Okay.
But I remember when I was younger, I never used to save money at home because my mum would leave in my jar and it would be like, just need to get a cab. Can you just give £4? And I'll put it back. And she used to write a little IOU and and put it in there that she owed me money. Yes. And then in the end, I'll just have a jar of IOUs and there's no money. So I used to save the jar at my nan's and I'd put the jar at my nan's and say, Nanny, can you look after my money? Because Mummy keeps spending my money. Anyway, one time I went round there, I had to see more IOUs.
Oh my God.
She knew where I moved the tin.
Of course.
So I was
looking for that.
Yeah, I was looking and I'm like, hey man, I had like, and you know when you get a 20 when you're young, it's like, hey man, this is all my money.
You're lucky you even saw them because I just remember seeing them in the car and getting told,
I'll look after that.
Okay.
I managed to get them in the tin and it was it. But I remember thinking, when I'm older, if I ever have a child, I would never ever borrow her money because that's her money. But I understand, Mum, it was a different age, the 80s. I get it.
Of course.
So, but what I do differently now is that I make my daughter spend her money on herself. It's like, okay, so it's fine for you to save your money,
but you're gonna spend it. But it's important to let them know that, because if we keep doing, then how do they learn?
Yeah.
They're just going to grow up thinking, oh yeah, someone else will buy it for me.
Yeah, 100%.
No, I do the same thing. You're going to spend your money.
Yeah.
Or she'll tell me, if she doesn't want, no, but I don't want to spend it because I've only got 4 gold coins in it, £4, mama. Use your card.
Yeah. But I like the fact that she's understanding not to spend it all, you know.
But then it's the use your card.
The use your card is wild. It's Kizzy. She says that, are you going to do an order?
Or order it and it can come.
Is that mine?
It can come tomorrow.
Yeah, like I ordered her something and it came by the same day. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I said, look. She was like that. Okay, but she didn't even bat an eyelid. I'm thinking I used to have to wait weeks to go Brent Cross. It was a mission. Like, it's
Woolworths.
insane. So do you think about Woolworths? Though this should really show the ages here. I don't know what Woolworths.
I know. I don't know either. I heard about it.
I know about Amazon. So what about investments and stuff like that? Is that something that you embark on conversations with
my
children?
son? More, because he's obviously at that age now where he's oh yeah, mum, I want to start learning about stocks and this and that, because a couple of my brothers and cousins, they're into it, so he's had his little moments at like 5 a.m. they're up and on some Zoom calls and I'm like, okay, it is really good, because for me, I don't know about that stuff. I don't know about the stocks and the tradings, and so for him to be able to access that information so young, it's great. I might get up.
Yeah, and
it's 5 o'clock.
You need to get on the call. But I think it's good that you have like a network of people that if you don't understand something, you're not like ignorant to saying, well, I don't get it, so don't even bother with that. It's more like, I don't understand it, but here's someone that does.
And that's me. I don't lie to my kids. Like, I know. If I don't know, I'm like, Kai,
so is that important?
Yeah, 100%. What, not to lie to your children?
No, just like to be able to provide them with the answer, but even if it doesn't come from you,
I will source it. There'll be somebody. Like, I think that when we talk about networking and who do we know all these different people, and if your child comes to you and says, do you know what, I want to be able to do this, I can't do it, you must know someone, whether it be on your social media, your phone book, something, to say, would you just mind talking to my son, or pointing me in the direction where
that's amazing. I think that's really cool. I think sometimes as parents you put so much pressure on yourself to know all the answers that we don't realise that we're living in a Google age. Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of the time, like
in our hand.
It is in your hand. Like I saw, like I think my daughter was learning about Big Ben and all these type of things and the monuments, and then she's on her iPad and I can hear her, hey Siri, show me a picture of the London Eye, and then I said, show me the picture of the gherkin. I was like, the gherkin.
The fact they know these things.
The gherkin. And she's like, I would like to go here. Dad, can you take me to see Big Ben? And I was like, you go with your bad self. And she's like, are you coming, Mum? Absolutely not.
I'm okay.
This is going to be a solo trip, but take a photo for me and let me see. But it's amazing how if the technology is used in the right way, that they're able to learn a lot more than what we was.
It's a blessing and a curse, I find. It is such a blessing and a curse right now with this internet business, because everything's here, but then it's also everything's here.
Exactly. You're right, it is. So it's kind of like just got to try and let it be used for the best that it can be used for, and then take the bad stuff when it comes, because
just be present when it's there. I'm that mum anyway. My daughter's iPad,
having a look. That's why with YouTube, I'm like, you can watch YouTube but only on a TV, because then I can see what's happening. Because when you got this little thing and then she's under the blanket, hey man,
what is this business? My daughter's got their bed with the curtain thing underneath, and she what's going on? Nothing, Mum. I'm just watching my program.
What program? That is crazy.
You have to be present.
But listen, I could talk to you for
I
ages.
know.
Honestly, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear more about your podcast. I'll put your information on the page so we can check it out. But it sounds like you're doing an amazing job. You know, and all the hurdles and stuff that you're encountering, it's all for something much bigger. It's for so much bigger than what you could imagine. So just take it in your stride, because I'm sure everything will come full circle.
Listen, that's what we do as mums. That's what we do.
And I've got one last question to ask you. Would love to hear your answer.
Yes.
So, Reams, can you shit in peace?
Never. Absolutely. Unless my kids are away.
Not there. Does the 15-year-old still disturb you?
Oh yeah, I'll hear it. I'll hear it. I hear them walking up the stairs and it's like, yeah, mum. You know I'm in the bathroom. You know I'm in the bathroom. Yes.
I know, it's one thing. Every single mum says exactly the same thing.
Never.
It doesn't even matter the age. It's still...
Never.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming, my darling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.